What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. As you can see on the screen, we're currently 10 games deep with 8 wins. Not bad. Of course, we did take that one DC loss whilst winning live in the last episode. This is the team that I'm running on the screen right now. I think 8-2 is a good starting point. 8-2 is kind of where I like to be every 10 games. So I shouldn't really get that disheartened. It's one thing, it's one weird thing that when it's a disconnect loss, when it's a loss that's like, there are losses that you take that you don't deserve, and then just nonsense within the game creates the loss, you know, lack of concentration, lack of composure, maybe you just get outplayed a couple of times in the game and you're unable to come back, you know, those sort of things. But when it's like EA or your internet service provider that takes away your win, it triggers me, man. It triggers me. I was on Twitter the other day, and Dirty Mike as well was tweeting about how the DC loss just sets you in a trend that you don't want to be in, and it's so frustrating. However, I'm still going to try my best to push on. As you guys know, I wasn't really planning on getting many wins this weekend league. I was kind of looking to go for gold 1 again, or at least just to a point where I'll be happy. And I had, after that one loss, this game here and the next 3 games after this were just filled with speed up lag. You can't always see it in the game because speed up lag is intermittent at times, and if it's not in the clip that I show, you don't see it, but you will definitely see it in some of the games. But yeah, it's just so frustrating, and I can't pinpoint the problem. You know, I've phoned and spoken to my ISPs, and they say that it's not their fault. They say they did a line check and the line looks fine and this and that, and then, you know, mention it to EA and EA like, hey, it's not our fault. But for me, it's only started happening in the last 3 or 4 weekends. Like, before I moved from London, when I moved down to Bournemouth in November, so November, December, January and February, most of February was fine. 4 months of no problem at all. And then out of nowhere, 3 weekend leagues ago, just started getting 2 or 3 DC losses a weekend, started getting speed up lag in sort of like 5 to 8 games a weekend. And I don't know what the difference is. I haven't changed anything. My internet service providers haven't changed. So, you know, argument would have it that it's EA's problem, but they're taking no responsibility. So what can you do with it? Like, I'm just going to have to try and figure out a better way to structure my games over the weekend so that it only seems to be between 5 PM and 10 PM. So, if it is my internet service provider between 5 PM and 10 PM because they're throttling me and they're just not taking responsibility for that, I know not to play in those times. And if it's EA because the servers are getting overloaded during those times because more people are playing, then I know not to play in those times. But it's going to be a transitional process over the next couple of weekend leagues to try and figure out when I can fit my games in that best suits me and get all my games in. But anyway, guys, I've got 5 comments I've picked, and I've tried to not pick many comments because I always run out and there's always comments left, so I just picked the best 5 that I could go with. But before we get into that, I mentioned in yesterday's video about the trying to catch a breath here, about the EA not halving packs and stuff, and EA did half the coin price of packs way back at Lunar New Year in January. I still don't understand why that guy was referencing it in like a video yesterday and the day before. Like, that's 2 months ago. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. But yeah, I agree that I do recall them half pricing the packs. But at the time I couldn't. It didn't make sense to me why he was talking about half price packs, and it still doesn't, because it was a one-time thing they did for the Lunar New Year. It's not like they've done it week on, week out, you know, week in, week out. But anyway, Denny's1905 says, Yo Nep, do you play with the game sound on? I don't believe in momentum or scripting, but in the last game when I scored the 2-0, the FIFA commentator said they've got the momentum on their side now. A few moments later, my opponent scored the 2-1. After the goal, the commenter said, well, that's against the script here. I went on to win 4-1, but that really got me thinking. What's your thought on this? I mean, first of all, how do I address this? Like, it's by structuring it the way I want to. I don't particularly play with game sound on. I have done the last weekend or two because there are things that it gives away about your opponent's tactical changes that are important to hear and understand, and actually might go some way to convincing people that do believe in momentum and scripting and handicap that it doesn't exist. For example, I was losing 2-0 in a game earlier on today, and I went ultra attacking, and the commentator said the home team are really starting to press on here to try and get back into the game, and it's a direct correlation to me making a change, whether it be a substitute, a tactical change or something. The commentator says so. So if you're playing against someone and you can hear the commentator says, you know, let's say you're the away team and the commentator says, the home team are pressing on here, they're starting to, you know, go a little bit more pressure to get the ball back. You know that they're playing high pressure, so that means that you can adjust your tactics accordingly to counter that, which you can't do when you don't listen to the game sound. Phrases like they've got the momentum on their side, that doesn't suggest momentum is or isn't in the game. It's a turn of phrase that happens in real life all the time. In real world football, when a team gets a team might have momentum, even at 0-0, you might be like, the momentum is with such and such. Like in the Liverpool-Man City game that just happened today, yesterday as you're watching this, you could see the speed up lag in this game, by the way. This was a horrendous game for me. Absolutely unplayable. There were periods of the game where Man City had the momentum on their side, and there were periods in the game where Liverpool had the momentum on their side, because it's just, momentum is just, it's not a thing, but it is a thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I know you understand. And here again, you'll see the speed up lag that resulted in me conceding another goal here. Just, again, unplayable, absolutely unplayable. But for those that will still sit there and say that this is me making excuses and I thought this stuff didn't happen, like, you just watch the last video where I did a live game where you can see it affects me massively. In terms of, that's against the script, that again is just a turn of phrase in the real world, like when MK Dons beat Man United 4-0 in the FA Cup a couple of years ago, or last year, or whenever it was, that was against the script. That was, the scripts, what the common thing that should happen, the obvious thing that should happen, is what we would denote as the script. So if you're winning 2-0 and the commentator is saying you've got the momentum because you're playing better, you've got better stats, and I think those phrases are derived from, like, your possession and your shots. Like, if you've got more possession and more shots, the commentator will just say you've got the momentum because essentially the game's in your favour, right? If then you've got more possession and more shots and your opponent pulls one back for whatever reason, that is now against the script, because the script is written that you should win the game. What you'll notice is in the early stages of games, or even in late stages of games when you're winning by a lot, like there was a game where I was winning like 4-0, and I heard the commentator say when I scored, we thought this was going to be a close game here, but it hasn't turned out to be so. Like, why did they think it would be a close game? What gave them that reason to think it would be a close game? And at the start of the game, you hear them say things like, these teams are very evenly matched, this is going to be a tough game here. Like, it's just little quips that are written into the game that are derived from how the game is playing in that one instance. It's not like EA have come out and said momentum doesn't exist and handicap doesn't exist and scripting doesn't exist. Do you think then, if it did exist and they were trying to hide the fact that it existed, they'd write commentary pieces that would be like, momentum's on his side, that's scripting? Like, they wouldn't do that, you know what I mean? I do see where you're coming from. I get, it's a very valid point, but I don't think it's worth looking into more than just the scope of that one match, that one time, what's happening in it. So that's my opinion on that. Legends says, Nep, I love the pack-only series, but I think that it's getting on top of the road to glories. Love you, keep up. Again, it's something I've taken on board and I've tried to consider, is that a thing or not? And this weekend league, for example, I've finished on 26 games on my road to glory and 12 games on my pack to glory. So I've only played 38 games the whole weekend and I'm still having issues. So it's not that, you know what I mean? I make sure that the pack account is secondary. I usually play the pack account when I'm rendering out a video or uploading a video to YouTube and I've got time to play 3 or 4 games, or when I would be done with my Road to Glory games anyway. Like, before I started the pack only account, the way I structured it from my road to glory was 10 games Friday, 15 Saturday, 15 Sunday. So now, once I played 10 games Friday, me then playing on the pack account isn't me ruining the road to glory account. It's those games are done anyway. I wouldn't have been playing them at that stage at any point. You know what I mean? So yeah, I take on board that people feel that might be the case. For me personally, after thinking about it logically and wondering if it's just too much FIFA or whatever, it's not the case, because the pack account I don't even play all the games on. In fact, I play sometimes only as many as 10 and sometimes as many as 20 or 30. But even in when I was just doing the road to glory, like on a Friday, if I'd finished the 10 games that I wanted to play in Foot Champs, I might do a whole Division 1 run, which would be another 8 to 10 games. So the load of games that I'm playing is still basically the same weekend in, weekend out, except instead of it all being in Champs and Divisions on one account, it's in Champs and Champs on 2 accounts. So it's pretty much the same. And I don't think it's had an effect on my gameplay. I think it's just a coincidence that the pack account, I started playing on the pack account basically when I started getting speed up lag and so on and so forth. I've actually played on the pack account now for I think for 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks. And in those 8-9 weeks, I was still getting 32, 33 wins on the Road to Glory account. I had 2 bad weekend leagues where I got 25, 26 and 27. Then I went back and got Elite again. I got 31 one week, I got 29 one week. And then last weekend league, I finished on 28 wins. And again, that came with 3 disconnect losses and a whole bunch of speed up lag games. So if I wasn't having the connection issues, I am very, very confident that I would still be getting 30 to 32 wins, give or take, every weekend league. And I know that sounds like a cop-out, but that is what's demotivating me to play. Like when, again, I was chatting to Marshall about it, and I was chatting to a few other dudes, and the thing that's bothering me each week isn't the fact that I'm not getting Elite. It's the fact that I'm not getting Elite because I'm getting disconnect losses and speed up lag, you know? That's just unbelievably frustrating to have to deal with, because I'm not missing out on these things because of lack of skill. I'm literally missing out on them because of unfortunate circumstance, and that is the most demotivating thing, when you put so much work, so much time, so much effort into, you know, this account, into investing it for nothing but bad luck to take it away. It just gets unbelievably frustrating. But as I say, you know, my aim this week coming will be to try and figure out a better pattern to play the game so that I don't get any issues like that. You know, I might try, like I say, what I want to do is on Thursday when I do the reward video, I want that to go up Thursday, but then also Thursday I want to make another video that will go live Friday, so that I can wake up early Friday and play a lot of games all at once, or get up early Friday and play 15 or 20 games, then do, you know, make the video for Friday and Saturday during that 5 to 10 p.m. slot, so that I'm, you know, working still but not playing. Maybe play a few more games after that, and then take the Saturday off and play early on Sunday again. That's the plan. Whether or not I stick to that plan, you know, I've got a lot of things going on in life all the time, and I can't always do what I want to do, even though that's always the plan. But that for me is pretty much the plan. Juve Boy 1897 says, Nep, why don't you make a team of your favourite players and don't worry about chemistry and see what you get? Dude, I was this close to doing that for this weekend league. I was like, you know what? Let me just put Lacazette back up front, because I loved Lacazette. Let me put Son back in the team. Let me put Sterling back in the team. You know, let me go back to that midfield of Chadley, Chan, and Fernandinho. Let's just do it. But then you look at it and you see the chemistry, and it's just like my OCD, as mild as it may be, gets the better of me, and I just can't do it. Because it's weird, right? I don't mind playing a left forward at striker on 7 chem. But it really bugs me when I play a left forward at right forward on 7 chem. How stupid is that? Don't answer. Very stupid, I know. But yeah, I have considered that. I honestly have. Marco P says, I don't think Pogba is worth double the price. In my opinion, the normal gold card is as good as the inform. You could save money there. Might be good for team of the season. That depends on whether or not Pogba gets the team of the season card or not. I don't know how the extent of his injury right now. I don't know if he's going to be playing any more of the season. I don't know if he's even going to be in team of the season. He had a really slow start for Man United. You know, obviously the Chelsea boys and the Man City boys are going to dominate a lot of the midfield in team of the season. So if he doesn't get team of the season and he's injured for a while, so doesn't get any more informs, this 90 rated Pogba card is going to end up being his highest rated card this season, potentially. which will hold its price a lot. And in worst case scenario, I paid 950k for him. Right now, as the time of making this video, he's worth 1.1 million. You know, I could sell him even if he went down to like 600-700k. I wouldn't even care about that. That's still a huge chunk of coins to come back and go on to something a bit different, a bit better. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process on it. And then last but not least, Logrady says, "Hey Nep, just wondering why you're forcing yourself to use new players that come out. Why don't you use the players that you got at the beginning of FIFA? I mean, you look at your team and you've pushed all your old players out that were getting you elite comfortably. You play 4-3-2-1, Hazard striker, Son left forward, Sterling SBC right forward, since you used to love Sterling as well. Keep up the great work. Your content is amazing, and I hope I don't get too stressed in foot champs." Yeah, again, I take on board your point, and I have considered this as well. And it's the sort of thing where I sat there and thought, like, yeah, like, why not just go back to square one? But the difference between now and then is, for me, when I had that team 3-4 months ago, everybody else didn't have super teams, or it was very rare that you would come up against a Ronaldo or a Messi or a Suarez or a Neymar and such, because people were still finding their feet in the game, just finally finding their groove in foot champs, finding what worked for them. And I'd already found what worked for me. I had a superior team with those, you know, that Son, Hazard, Sterling. That was a trio of players that I've had for months and months and months that people didn't have, you know. So my team back then was here compared to most people's down here. So in those close games, I had a big edge over my opponents, and then obviously in the games where it wasn't close, where I was just a better player, the team didn't make any difference. Gradually, everyone else's team has done this. So if I go back to a team here, it's now going to be a situation where I face like SBC Suarez, I would say around 20 to 25 times on a weekend league, whereas when I was using Hazard, Sterling and Son, I would face an elite team maybe 3 or 4 times for the whole weekend. You know, I'd come up against Rashford, Musa, Remy a lot, and you don't see those anymore now because everyone can afford the better players. That's kind of why I don't go all the way back to those players. But also, like, Mane is just better than Sterling. You know, I don't know why I mean, again, it comes to that point where it's like, I'm not playing bad FIFA. Like, if I didn't have these issues with disconnects and speed up lag, I would still be comfortably getting elite every single week. It's just really frustrating that the thing that is causing me to, like, change everything for myself, because I was thinking about it today whilst I was playing, and you'll see it a bit more in tomorrow's episode. I started changing everything. I started changing my custom tactics, my player instructions, at times my formations, the personnel that I was using, to try and find my way back to elite. Even though it's only been 1 week that I made elite 2 weekends ago. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I've been out of elite for a long time. I got gold 1 last week, but I got elite 3 the week before and elite 2 the week before. Like, it's not like I've had huge problems. But I was looking for the way to get back to elite, when realistically the biggest problem was the server issues that I've been having, or the connection issues that I've been having. So me trying to look for different things has actually hurt me more than it's helped me, because it's made me go away from my natural play style and the things that I did and enjoyed. And so what I'm going to do next weekend league is literally go absolutely back to basics, back to just, I'm going to go back and look at my account from about 2 months ago when I was playing some of the best FIFA I'd played ever. When I was getting 32, 33 wins each week. Look at the team, look at the player instructions, look at the custom tactics, go back to that, run it in Division 1, make sure I'm comfortable with it, and then maybe tinker a little bit with it to try and make it a little bit better. But generally just sit there in a comfort zone that I know will get me those 29 wins. Like, because 30 wins is 75% win rate. That should be very, very comfortable for me to get every week. And it typically is without the connection issues. So I think I've got lost in my own head in so many occasions of thinking that these problems are me playing bad. There was a couple of weekends where I played bad. Those weekends where I got 26 and 27 wins, I was genuinely playing bad. I was having, I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Like, FIFA was getting the better of me. But this weekend, I don't feel like I'm playing bad. I feel like I'm actually playing really, really good FIFA. But anyway, that goal that I scored there with Ibra, one of the best goals I've scored this year in FIFA. Lovely little skill run from him. A few roulettes in there, the V-cut drag back thing, whatever it's called, and just overall a lot of goals scored. Then we get in with Mane in the 75th minute. We shoot and score, and at that point, this guy gave up. So 5-0 was the full-time score. And that, guys, is going to lead us to being, I don't even know what we are, 14 and 6 or 14 and 6, I think. Not the best, but again, a couple of DCs, some speed up lag. What are you going to do? But this is the end of the gameplay, guys. Let's get into the live section. So, guys, we find ourselves 14 wins after 20 games. I'm a little bit, how to put it? I'm a little bit just disheartened. Still, I feel like, oh, he's playing FIFA and he's getting sad. Like, it's crazy, right? We was 8-1. Obviously, in the last episode at the very end, I showed you the live game. We was 8-1. We was 1-0 up in that game, playing really good considering we had speed up lag and we got disconnected. That put us to 8-2. So in the next 10 games, we've gone 6 wins and 4 losses. 3 of those losses have come to just wild speed up lag. I'll try and put clips in to show you that I'm not just faking it to try and be like, oh, my losses aren't losses. Like, I've had genuine problems this evening every single game. Even a couple of the wins that I got, there was speed up lag in those as well. One of the games, I think I got like a 3-0 rage quit very early on. And I had like horrendous speed up lag in that game. I was so, so happy that guy ended up quitting the game. We in two games, I literally again conceded 2 90th minute goals. I had that a little bit last weekend. Just really unlucky because I was performing well in both games. I was playing good FIFA. I was creating good chances, and in fact, I think if the messages are here, I keep deleting all the messages. So the two of the dudes that beat me in the 90th minute both messaged me afterwards saying that I deserve the win. There's nothing worse than someone saying you should have won. But that's how it is, you know. And that's FUT Champs for you. We're 14-6. Again, another weekend. This could be 17-3, even 18-2. I've been, like I said, I've been playing some really, really good FIFA. So I'm not I haven't got angry. There's only one game I got like quite tilted at, and that was a game that I lost 3-1. And the match stats of that game looked like that guy had dominated. He had 53% possession. I only had 2 shots, 1 on target. But if I remember, which I probably won't because I would have calmed down by the time I actually edit the video, there was some just really weird happenings in that game. Like, I got through on goal. He brought his keeper out. I turned back. I passed it, I think, to Mane. I turned sideways to get to a good angle to finesse it. And as I've turned sideways, the ball's just rolled to Ibrahimovic. And I was like, I literally didn't press a button. And so I missed an open goal opportunity because of that. And that was at 1-0 to him. And then also at 1-0 to him to make it 2-0. He's played some randy ball over. Kante's got it. I'm trying to select the defender. It doesn't let me select the defender. So I'm pressing left bumper to try and turn Kante around. And he's instead passed it. And because there was a lot of like button pressing like in amidst the whole thing, I don't think I pressed pass. But obviously I did press pass, otherwise he wouldn't have passed it. But I don't understand why he like tried to turn around and pass it on a backward swivel to like 3 on rushing attackers. It just changed the dimensions of the game. And then after he got 2-0 up, he just started passing around the back. It became like a lot of frustrating for me. I switched to a 3-4-2-1. He ended up hitting me on the counter. I did get 1 back, but it was too late. I conceded an own goal in the 90th minute one game. It's literally just one of those situations where I was desperately unlucky in so many games. And it's my own fault because to get to 90th minute at 1-1 and then to concede that second goal, I should have just done more to prevent that. I shouldn't have attacked in the 90th minute and be susceptible to being hit on the counter. What I should have done is just held the ball in the midfield, wait for extra time, and then play out the extra time. And who knows, I might have gone on to lose it anyway. It doesn't make any difference. But I have dealt with some severe speed up lag and one more disconnect loss. And again, it just comes to the situation of 8-1 to a disconnect loss. And I said in that video yesterday, I lost my motivation to play again. So I've been playing this evening just not caring and not wanting to play, not caring to play. And we find ourselves 14-6. It's not the end of the world. If we have a good, I should be on a 3-to-1 win-loss ratio on average. So if we can get 15 wins out of the last 20 games, if I can play them all, because I literally might just run out of time. I'm going to try and get through as many as I can on Sunday, but obviously I've got videos to make, I've got the other account to play on, I've got family, got things to do in life. Like, I'm going to try and play all 20 games on Sunday if I can. If I can win 15 at the 20, we'll get elite, which will be perfect. If not, I'll be happy with gold 1. I want to just make sure, as I said before, I just want to make sure we get the monthly rank for elite 3. I need 50 wins from 100 games. So I might not play all 100 games, but I've already got 70 wins from this 100 games, which that's bad for me. I should be out of 100 games. I believe I should be a minimum 75 wins. So I'm short 5 wins, but hey, guess what? In those 100 games that we've played so far, I've got 5 disconnect losses, 3 of them whilst winning, 2 of them whilst winning in the 90th minute. So I'm where I should be on an average weekend, except I'm not because of the disconnects and speed up lags, and so that means my good weekends have kind of recovered the nonsense that I've had essentially. But hey, it's just FIFA, right? It doesn't make any difference. It's not the end of the world. What we're going to do is we're going to write this month off as a loss. I'm going to try and sort my team out and my tactics. I'm actually, like I say, interestingly enough, I'm actually playing really good FIFA right now. I'm enjoying. I've got some custom tactics that I set up for myself. I'll show them to you. It's more based around quite a slower game. You can see my pressure is quite low, but my aggression is nice and high because I don't want my players to attack them in their own half. I just want them to be aggressive in their third. I've got my team width really low because I want the players to make runs into... Well, apparently team width is for only when you're defending. So I want my team to be narrow so that I don't get hit down the wings a lot. And that's my, that might then in turn lead to me getting hit down the wings a lot more than normal. But I feel like I can defend that a lot easier than I can defend balls through the middle. I put the shooting low. I can't remember why. It was something to do with how they get into the box and what positions they get into. Crossing medium, passing low, and then passing the speed I've put quite fast. I've kind of built it like, and I don't suggest you guys take these. I don't suggest that you use my custom tactics because I've literally tailored these to my game. I found a thread on Reddit. If I remember, I'll put it in the comment section. Actually, Marshall gave me a thread on Reddit. If I remember, I'll put it in the comment section. If not, just go onto Reddit and search in the FIFA section an in-depth guide to custom tactics, and that thread will explain exactly what each one does for you. And I've tailored this specifically to my playstyle, and it seems to be working, even though I've actually won 6 and lost 4 of this 10. As I say, on another day, I'll win 9 of those 10. There was just that one game that I lost 3-1. That's the only game that wasn't contentious. He outplayed me, he hit me on the counter. I had some crap going on in the game with just some weird shit, but in general, he outplayed me. He countered me, then he held possession well. Fair play to him for that. But the other 3 losses, 2 of them were just indulged in speed-up lag. It's impossible, unplayable and impossible. We'll go with impossible from now on. So yeah, on another day we could be playing better. And I'm enjoying this team. Pogba, Kante, and Chan. I've got Pogba in the middle for the height, but Kante gets into more shooting positions than Pogba, so I might try a few games with Pogba out on the right and Kante in the middle. Pogba's stats look horrendous, but again, that's stats that aren't counting for him. A few disconnects and I don't know what to say. I'm trying to make excuses for him not having good stats, but I don't care what his goals and assists say. He plays unreal for me. As I say, I'm loving this team. I'm loving the depth in this team. I'm loving the fact that we can switch to any formation and have players to cover. Like I've got 2 CDMs in the centre midfield role in Chan and Chan and Kante. I've got a central midfielder or a cam if I switch to the 4-3-1-2 or the 4-2-1-2 narrow or the 4-2-3-1 narrow. Like I've got cams available. I've got the big target man of Ibra, and then late on in the game, if I need them, we've got Suarez, Son, and Nainggolan, another CDM-based player in Nainggolan. Interestingly, one of the things that I wanted to do this week was use a 184 team to see what impact that had on matchmaking, if anything. I don't know what impact it's had, but I'm at 14-6, which is the exact slot we were at this time last week. I might have been 13-7 last week actually, because I got 2 disconnect losses at this stage. But I'm basically the same. So bottom line is seems like team rating at first glance doesn't make that much, if any, difference at all. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the video for today, guys. I'm going to try my best to get through another 20 games on Sunday. I don't know how many I'll get through. I will most definitely get to gold 1 no matter what. What are we? We're 9 wins? 9 wins away from gold 1? 11, wow, 11. Well, it might take me all 20 games to get to gold 1 anyway, but we're 11 wins away from gold 1. I will get to gold 1. No, like come hell or high water, even if it takes me till 5-6 o'clock in the morning playing my balls out, I will get to I will make sure I get to gold 1 for sure. If we can push on to elite, happy days. I hope to just go on like a nice 7-8 win streak. If I can get to like 21-6 or even 20-6, or like let's say by the time I get the next loss, I would like to be around 21-22 wins, because that's a 3 win to loss ratio. I'll take that. And then next weekend, I'm going to start as early as possible on Friday. And I say it every weekend, I want to start early and get a lot of games out But my biggest problem is like to make videos as well, to render, to edit, to upload, to record, to play all the games as well, and then to like do anything like go and take time to eat and stuff. Like the hours just burn away. So I don't know. I'm gonna try and go to bed a lot earlier next Thursday to get up a lot earlier on Friday, because this Friday I got up at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Foot Champs was already out for what? 8 hours then, 9 hours. I could have already played like 20 games, you know what I mean? So I'm going to try and get up like nice and early on Friday and see what we can do early on. But I don't know if that's actually what I'm going to do. It's just what I'm going to try and do. Who knows if that's how it works out. But this is going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Actually, before we get out of here, I just want to show you some investments that I made. I have a feeling Romelu Lukaku is going to win Player of the Month. It's seemingly between Lukaku and Joshua King. Now, he scored in the draw against Man United. He scored 1 goal, a hat-trick in the second game that he played. I can't remember who that was against, maybe Hull, perhaps. And he got 1 other assist in the game today against Swansea. But he missed a penalty, but he got 2 Man of the Match awards. So for Bournemouth, that's 7 points out of 9, an away point to Man United. 1 hat-trick, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 penalty missed, 2 Man of the Matches. For Lukaku, he got 1 Man of the Match, maybe 2 actually. I don't know if he got Man of the Match today. 1 or 2 Man of the Matches. He got 1 goal against Spurs. I think he got an assist in that game as well. He got let's take today's game for example. So Everton against Hull, he got 2 goals and an assist today against Hull. I would assume that would have given him Man of the Match, right? Like almost definitely. Like maybe not, but almost definitely. So 2 goals and an assist for him in that game. In the game against where are they here? In the game against West Brom, he got 1 goal and 1 assist. And then in the game against Spurs, which of course they did lose, he got 1 goal and no assists. So he got 4 goals and 2 assists with 1, maybe 2 Man of the Match. It's going to be tight this time around. But I think I don't know how the pros will vote. But my gut feeling says that it's going to be Lukaku that wins Player of the Month. So to prepare for that, I've gone and bought from BPL and from Everton in general. I've gone and bought some special cards from Everton. I went and bought Stecklenburg for 24k. I don't know what he's going for now. Is he really up at 40k? I should have bought loads, shouldn't I? He's up at 40,000 coins now. But I bought him for, as you can see, I bought him for 24k. I bought McCarthy, another special card, because you just don't know. I don't know if his price is... Yeah, his price is still about the same, about 15k. But in case they do what they did with Harry Kane, where you need non-gold, non-common cards, this McCarthy card, for example, might become very relevant. And then I've got Coleman, Barry, and Balassi. I don't mind using Balassi if I need to. Barry and Coleman I won't. But we've got Morales as well, Belgian and Everton. We've got McCarthy, we've got Stecklenburg. And then for Belgium, what did we get for Belgium? Let's go here and here. For Belgium, quality special, I went and bought Defoe for 18,000. I don't know how much he's going for now. How much is he going for now? Still about the same, about 20,000. I went and bought Benteke himself, just in case, 58,000 for him. Looks like he's up about 65,000 now. So again, I made a bit of profit. You know, should I need him? I went and bought Dendonka for 13,000. He's still cheap by looks of things, around 15,000 mark. I went and bought Inform Vossen for 23,000, and he is now, is he actually 44,000? That's crazy. There's only 6 of him on the market. That's crazy. I've already got Batshuayi, of course, and then I also went and bought this dude, Minin. I bought him for 20,000. And there's only 1 on the market now for 15,000. So if you don't know if EA are going to be like, hey, you need a silver Belgian card. Then obviously I've got Hazard, Nainggolan that I wouldn't use, Chadley that I probably would use, and then this red Vossen that I'd almost definitely use. So I've invested, but I've also invested, and I could already make profit if I wanted to. I don't know. It might be worth you guys taking a look at trying to invest in some of these players whilst they're still relatively cheap as well. I've sold a whole bunch of stuff as well, as you can see here, which is very nice. But I've also bought another Dendonka Again, he's still quite cheap. He's still about 15,000 coins, so he'd be a good one for you guys to invest in still right now. And I bought another Vossen for 23k, and the fact that he's seemingly 40k and there's not much of him on the market, I'm gonna sell him now. You know, let's make some profit on him. We'll list him at 39k. That'd be 16k profit before tax. Very nice indeed. I also bought another Defoe. I think he's still about the same price. And then that was it really. That was all the investments that I made. So not bad. Like, you know, I've got good opportunities to make some good coins here off of this. You know, I want to start stacking coins now for team of the season. So I think what the plan is, and this video is going to get super long now, so I apologise to those of you that don't like the super long videos. What the plan is to keep this team as it is going forwards. I'm enjoying Schmeichel as well. I know I massively overpaid for him, right? He's probably like, what, 70k by now? Yeah, like anywhere between 70 and 80,000 coins. I know I massively overpaid for him. I thought he would settle at around 100 to 110, if I'm perfectly honest. I thought, hey, he's 87 rated, it's a special card, it's a great goalkeeper. I thought it'd be worth, like, you know, like when you compare him to David De Gea, let's not look at the let's not look at like the physicals and stuff first, but just look at the actual card stats. He is just flat out better than De Gea. More diving, more handling, more kicking, same reflexes, way more speed and more positioning. Okay, De Gea is 6'4", 3-star weak foot, 1-star skill moves, acrobatic, and Schmeichel is 6'1", 3-star weak foot, 1-star skill moves, and acrobatic. So those extra 3 inches to some people are the world of difference. To me, not so much. You know, people have to really pay attention to know that Schmeichel is a shorter goalkeeper, so he's more susceptible to long shots. And a lot of people don't judge that. They look at the team without caring about the goalkeeper, and they don't immediately think, oh, he's got a relatively short goalkeeper, let me try and pepper him with long shots. That's not people's first instinct. So it's not really going to make that much of a difference to me over time. So I'm going to stick with this team for now. I'm going to keep in the club the investments that I've got, the players I've got. I'm going to sell the ones to watches as and when, as and when fit to sell. No, I don't want to go trade transfer market. So my club. So we've got one sellable into 4. We've got Gaetan, Benteke, Ben Arfa, Dendonka. All of these special cards here. That Hugo Mayo that we packed, Marcano, Milik, 2 Jovetic because I've got 1 on the trade pile, Morata, the Stecklenburg and Vossen who I've already made profit on if I wanted to sell them. This Thomas card, Delafoe, loads of special cards. Look at this, just loads and loads of special cards that are just chilling in the club right here. The McCarthy, the Mim, and then we've got some players. I'll always keep these players now just because you never know when they're going to be useful for an SBC. So I might as well keep them and just hold on to them forever. But we've got a lot of, like, at a rough guess, I'd say of sellable cards in the club, like here, I'd probably have to guess somewhere around 800,000 coins. At a rough guess, maybe a million coins, maybe 600k, but somewhere in the big fluctuating region of 600k to a million coins. And we've got this team, and we've got 220k in the bag, or 230k in the bag. So I've got plenty going on to the point where I'm already stable for team of the season. Like, I know a lot of the high-end team of the season cards are going to cost millions. Like, if there becomes, for example, a 98 Ibrahimovic, I would want that instead of this 92 Ibrahimovic. But he would be very, very expensive, right? So for me to trade to those, what I'd probably do first of all is I'd work from the back forwards. I'd get the team of the season defenders and goalkeeper, then the team of the season midfielders, then the team of the season attackers as we go through the end of the game, depending on what one that I go for, because we might pack some of the team of the season cards that will change the shape of what the team is. And then, of course, bearing in mind that when team of the season Pogba, or if team of the season Pogba comes, we can sell the 90 inform Pogba for about 1 million coins right now, get 950 after tax, and then we can put that towards, you know, the Pogba fund. We got Kante that we bought for 289. That is currently 280. Brilliant. I love it when I just lose endless coins on players. And then Emre Can that we bought for 295. And he is now 273 there. He's come down as well a bit. But overall, like, I'm happy to play with this team for as long as it needs to be. Collect all the rewards every week on week. Sell what we can sell, keep what we can keep. But more importantly, I'm super interested now going forwards in, like, really just turning what we've got here into an investment portfolio, the players that we've got in the club and the coins that we've got in the bank, I want to just try and develop these with smart buying and selling, and just make as much coins as I can. Because if I can have like 4 or 5 million coins by the time Team of the Season comes around, and this team that I've got here, brilliant. Then the teams that we could build would just be endless. But anyway, guys, this is going to be a really long video now, so I apologise for that. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.